that sources who attended the meeting say Chapek did not make such a bold declaration, meaning, Disney being a data-driven company now.
Yeah.
They say he was merely being himself, a numbers-oriented, bottom-line focused businessman, lacking creative experience and without Iger's polish and flair. Nonetheless, the retreat anecdote dovetailed with a narrative that was already taking hold among Iger confidants, that he had lost faith in Chapek and that his speech before the board was a final warning that Disney was veering off course. And the idea of the wrong man at the helm of Disney stoked a lot of anxiety in an industry that has seen Fox and MGM swallowed up, Warner Media battered by AT&T, and Paramount transforming into a shadow of itself. Now, this I want to address real quick because in this particular paragraph, it sounds so dire.
Yeah.
Not only is Disney in jeopardy here with Chapek, but Hollywood. Yeah. This is like a meteor event hitting Earth, basically, right? This is like existential Hollywood, Disney. Everything is in jeopardy now because this guy is running Disney. And here's the thing. It says here, among quote unquote Iger confidants. Okay. So they're implying that it's coming kind of from the Iger camp. This is all coming from the Iger camp. Now, when you scroll down, and we'll come back up here, but when you go down to the very end with Iger, this last quote, Iger says it will all become very clear. Quote, he's very different from me, meaning Chapek. And then he goes on to say, quote, that doesn't mean he can't do the job well. Give him time. It's the only fair thing to do. Well,
that's a ringing endorsement.
It's not exactly. Yeah. But it's not exactly, though. The thing that I was trying to say is that's not exactly the same energy I'm getting from what these confidants are saying.
Right.
Because the confidants are saying this is like end times, like the meteor is hitting Hollywood because Chapek is running the show. Mm-hmm. Disney's veering off course. There's a total disaster looming. Right. And Iger's like, well, give him time, see how he does. This is the issue I kind of have with the article, is that the narrative of the overall article doesn't really fit with what Iger and even Feige is saying. You know what I'm saying? Right. It seems like there's like a disconnect there.
Yes. Yeah. This is, I think, if I had to put my head into the writer of this article, I think the initial comments they got from Iger and Feige were a little bit, I think there's an agenda to be pushed here. There's a narrative to be pushed here. And when those were inconsistent, not consistent with that narrative, it was like, okay, well, I'm going to go searching. And they bring a lot of other people in here to kind of reinforce this narrative of, oh, Chapek bad, Iger was good, but now he's leaving, and, what's going to happen to Disney, and it creates this kind of dire, set of consequences here. But at the same time, look, Chapek did, I can't believe I'm defending Chapek here again, but we got to be fair, right?
And that's what, not to interrupt you, but that's what I love about our channel and our conversations is that we're probably the only content creators that actually give him a fair shake.
I think so. It's quite fast. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what separates our channel out a lot. If I could speak, openly about that.
Absolutely.
But Chapek, he did get Disney through the pandemic and largely unscathed, largely intact too. You would have thought that, with how, with the loans they were drawing out and the decisions that they had to make, you would have thought they would have had to sell off divisions of the entire company just to stay afloat, and they didn't, right? They did, keep totally whole. And I know how it's phrasing this last sentence, right? With MGM getting swallowed up and Warner Media and stuff and Paramount and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, do you not think that Chapek understands that? He's looking at this going, that's us. We're next if we don't do, a rethink on what we've been doing so far.
Right.
That could be we could be any one of those companies getting swallowed up by some big tech giant or whatever. And, we've completely lost our autonomy, and who knows what happens after that. And I will say, I mean, they kind of create this, it's kind of, I mean, I don't know, it's this caricature of a person, right? Where it's like, oh, it's, we got 60 seconds for lunch, and, I'm sorry, 60 seconds for small talk, and then we got to get to business, and then we're off. It's like, he understands the urgency of this moment. The entertainment landscape is changing fundamentally. I mean, it's just changing so much and so fast, and Chapek understands that he doesn't want to be on the back end of that, and he's making tough decisions in order to secure Disney's position as top dog. And so, I don't know. I mean, you got to give him credit for that, and he has been successful thus far.